Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon. Top 49, top 4 to Modern Challenge with Timeless Amulet, which is very exciting. Bob is a really talented and smart player. Let me go ahead and pull up his list. We talked about it some yesterday. Oh, and we also have a chest cold open, and the dogs are running around. Okay, what's up, Spikelings? It's me, the only E-boy who ever showed you the attention you crave, Aspiring Spike, and welcome to my Shark Typhoon. We all know that my content can be best described as timeless. In order to live up to that moniker today, I'm showing off a huge update to Timeless Amulet. If you want all the mana, thereby all the wins, just keep watching and find out how. Plus, help the stream with a few simple favors, like, sub, comment, follow, sub, support my sponsors, and more. Thank you. So Bob's list was very similar to the normal version we have been playing, with like the main deck almost entirely just being cutting Escape the Wilds for Storm the Festival. The mana obviously changes, where you just don't need to be so in on Gruul Turfs anymore, and so Bob also has the Wishclaw Talisman tech, where you can go Karn and wish for something, which is very interesting. Bob's also playing a couple Crumbling Vestiges in this version, and no Cascading Cataracts, which I think I kind of agree with. I'm not 100% sold on no Cascading Cataracts, but that's what I am trying today, is no Cascading Cataracts in this version, but we have a different version deck that is playing the Cataracts, so we can get more into that in a second. Also, sideboarding an Elishnorn. I think he mentioned that he wasn't sure exactly what he wanted to do with the slot. It was good against Amulet Titan. He's really gutted the Karn sideboard. I think I would be playing a few different Karn tutor targets, blah blah blah, who cares? Karn tutor targets are kind of boring to debate, but the Storm the Festival tech is very interesting. So this is, when you compare this card to Escape the Wilds, you look at the top 5 permanents, cards in your library, 2 permanents with mana value 5 or less, put them onto the battlefield, rest of the bottom with flashback for 10. It is honestly a very similar effect to Escape the Wilds, where this is look at top 5, play till end of next turn, play an additional land this turn. So where this can give you back 4 to 6 mana, this is like very easily able to give you back a comparable amount of mana, putting a land into play, putting an Arboreal Grazer into play, putting a Lotus into play, while also digging you for your Golos to spin and win. And so I do recognize that, like with Karn the Great Creator, like you have a higher density of big hits for Storm the Festival, but in my playtesting yesterday, I don't think you need them. It's this deck. Timeless Amulet has always been a weird deck, right? It's a weird deck, and I think it breaks a ton of normal deck building conventions. And I know that it looks like at first glance we have a bunch of we're kind of bare bone hit for Storm, but what's crazy about Storm is you're just really okay hitting mana off Storm most of the time, where you just go Storm, hit a Lotus, hit a bounce land, hit 2 bounce lands, hit a bounce land and a Grazer, hit a bounce land and a Lotus Field, make a ton of mana, and then flashback Storm the Festival, digging deeper for your Timeless Lotus and Golos. And I always felt like Escape to the Wilds was better than Karn in this deck. Escape to the Wilds has always been such a huge important card. It is it's just these 3 cards for the longest time, you have to cast one of them to start your combo chaining spells together, building up a ton of mana. And now Storm the Festival gives you an extra one. Instead of playing Karn, which can sometimes be clunky, sometimes be slow, sometimes is the worst of your payoffs, you just don't have to play any of them. And with this engine of the Amulet Gardens engine, plus these 16 cards that just start looping your deck, I found it pretty easy to maybe more consistent to just on turn 3 specifically win the game or cast an Emrakul on turn 3. I feel like this deck has become more consistent at doing that. And of course, when you cut Karn, you get a sideboard, which is definitely relevant. I think I really like to have Leyline of Sanctity against Scam. I like to have Dismember against decks with Magus the Moon specifically, some other hate bears. Force of Vigor is a very good sideboard card. We have some Urza Saga tutor targets. And I think this second Emrakul is important for Solitude matchups. It's not 100% necessary to have a second Emrakul, because a lot of times you cast Emrakul, take your extra turn, you put 2 or 3 Urza Sagas into play, and you're going to win the game that way. But I think the second Emrakul against Solitude decks may be important to have enough win conditions, but that's really all that you need. Is there a plan to beat Ensnaring Bridge? Yeah, you have Boseiju and Force of Vigor. It's not that hard. It's also like you're trying to win the game on turn 3, turn 4, which is usually a little bit before. Bridge comes down. There's also, there is also the Invasion of Alara tech that we were playing last week, I think last week, which is very interesting in the deck too. So if you were gonna play this over Escape to the Wilds, and then like Vampire Hexmage over Explore in the Expedition map like we were doing yesterday, Storm the Festival can put Invasion of Alara into play, which is very exciting. We played Invasion of Alara last week. The card is very, very, very good in the archetype. It's hard to cast though, and it makes you play Hexmage, which kind of stinks. But Storm of the Festival is a big upgrade for it, so it could be the case that this is the better version too. It could also be the case that Bob is right and just play cards instead of escapes, but this is my working theory. I did some playtesting last night. I really like Storm the Festival in this build. I haven't actually tried out this build yet, but I figured we could just do it on stream today. So this isn't supposed to be a 61. There's not supposed to be a Crumbling Vestige here. Sorry, I was doing some tweaking. So yeah, this build has Crumbling Vestige because of the Invasion of Alara. Cascading Cataracts. No Crumbling Vestige. I think you want it so you can cast Invasion of Alara sometimes. In this build, but I think in this build you could probably get away with no copies of Cascading Cataracts. Is also just kind of working theory. So a lot going on, but just also like very, very people. I think you should only play Door to Nothingness if you're playing Karn. I do think it is worth it. I think there's a lot of times you have like 15 mana and you have Door mana, not Ballista mana, which is like 40. But I think without Karn, I did try it without Karn. I think you just shouldn't play it. Emrakul is like way easier to cast because it's not Wooburg 5. It's just 15, and this gets the job done game 1 most of the time. You have a second Emrakul if you feel like you need extra win cons. But I just on a very simple level, I'm starting to believe more and more in the Timeless Lotus deck. Obviously, like Bob's tournament finish, gave me some degree of confidence here. But it is also it just does I think just keep feeling more and more real. I don't know, like the degree to which you just get to like be very resilient to counter spells and removal is so nice. You are definitely weak to them disrupting your amulets. But I've even just started to play in a way where I just sandbag my amulets for a little while a lot of the time. What happens if you get Emrakul off in an early Escape to the Wilds? You can possibly lose that way, but it's honestly very uncommon that you're casting Escape to the Wilds and you can't cast Emrakul that turn or the next. That does track for sure. Yeah. This version does not have the Expedition map either. Ooh, Breach, interesting. Scam's not great in the Murktide. Yeah, the Murktide versus Scam matchup is really interesting. It's like I think if Scam knows that they're up against Murktide on the play and they have the ability to scam Fury with a +1 counter, it's actually like a really interesting dynamic. Okay, so I can go copy Amulet, get an Amulet, cast an Amulet next turn, play Overgrown Tomb tapped with 4 Amulets in play. But that's 1 mana short of casting a 5. I think I just cast this now, and then we'll see what happens. These guys' Hammer Rhinos are bad. Yeah, I really feel like more Path to Perils would help so much, unless it Hitsugu's, and maybe I'm a little biased saying that right now, but that's something I felt for a little while. Yeah, 4 Amulets is a lot, but. Sorry. I can still just do a 5, right? Because I can now go just float for a mana. Yeah, I just float for a mana, and then I can go Golos. Yeah, we can go off next turn hopefully, with only 3 Amulets instead of 4. We get to go Golos, Lotus Field, Storm the Festival, 3 mana floating. No, don't do something. 5 mana. Oh, they're casting the Golos. Wow. Turn 3, cast Golos off Ragavan. Wow, 31 versus Rhinos. I didn't realize it was that lopsided, because I was thinking that like scamming Fury against Rhinos was just like such a good answer to their stuff. I guess you just can't always have that. That's cool, good to know. Also, Path of Peril would help you against your Rhinos matchup, which I'm sure y'all know. Thank you, Overgrown Tomb. You are so much better than Bayou. Am I supposed to get a bounce line now that I have a Grazer? I think the answer is yes. We could Grazer and Storm. Yeah, of course, of course. No, the Connive. Yeah, should be able to pretty easily flash back the Storm too. Alright, so we hit Rot Farm, Urza Saga, which gives me enough to flash back the Storm of the Festival. Okay, we hit a Timeless Lotus. Great, 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 great. So now we can spin Golos a bunch. First league, yep, first league of the day. Two Hexmages and a Stirrings. Cast the Stirrings. Right, Golos is a mana positive card. Cast Storm. Let's just put 2 Invasion of Alaras into play. We have another Timeless Lotus ready to go for Golos already. Then we'll go and cast this. Put Grazer into that. Oh, looks like they fixed the the Invasion like bug also, which is cool. 2 Azusas. Okay, so let's go Hexmage, flip. This is turn 3, by the way. I'm gonna go ahead and kill their Golos, because they were never supposed to have that one in the first place. Oh no, I didn't mean to copy my Golos. I meant to copy my Amulet. What are we gonna do? Choose a Golos to keep. You ever have 3 Goloses in play at the same time, though? That's kind of an achievement. Just stocking back up on our colors. Shove the door. The door has been removed for privacy reasons. If this deck is nothing without the door, we didn't deserve the door in the first place. I'll draw 2. I'll kill your Saga. Man, I don't even have an artifact to put into play. Copy. And we'll just make the beefiest Grazer ever. There's an Emrakul in here somewhere, y'all. I promise. I think there's an Emrakul in here somewhere. Stirrings. No. Y'all, is there not an Emrakul in here? There it is. Starting to get a little worried. Cute. This is for the stream, GG's. Okay. Thank you. We're up against either Fair Breach or Normal Breach combo. I think it seems very reasonable to just run it back and not worry about. Yeah, I mean, I think they're also gonna have Wear Tears against us, Alpine Moons, if on either version. I just don't think I need to bring in any Force of Vigors because we didn't see. I guess we did see. Okay, we did see Mox Amber, which a lot of Fair Breach lists don't play. The second Emrakul's for Solitude matchups. Leyline good? If you're saying Leyline is good, why literally what does Leyline do against them? Stops their Grape Shot. Okay. You can play Cage. So Saga's Fair Breach decks don't play. I've seen Saga and Fair Breach decks, but yeah. This Force, not Leyline. Well, it's just we're so much faster than them. I'm just gonna run it back. We're just so much faster. I don't feel like I'm wanting to play this long fair game. I think the long fair game favors them because they're gonna have more interactive sideboard cards. Yeah. I know Force stops the combo, but I don't know. We're a turn 3 combo deck. They're a turn 4 combo deck. Maybe we're on the draw. So it's no, I think it's still fine. It's just I think buying a few turns is just kind of simply not what we want to be doing. I think the longer the game goes, the more favored they are. I really do not want to put back this Gardens, but it seems to be the right card to put back, so I'll put it back. This turn 3 win. Could you fit Door and Emrakul in the deck? I have Emrakul, but I played the Alara version with Door, and I just don't think it's right to play the Door in this build. It's just you just don't have any problem with winning with just the one Emrakul, and if you do, because of Solitude and stuff, you have a second Emrakul on the sideboard, so it's just why, Saga faster than Garden? Yeah. If I keep Garden over Saga, I can't. I guess I can copy the Amulet, but this is basically an Amulet plus 1 mana on turn 3. And a Garden is an Amulet without that extra 1 mana, which is definitely really relevant. Yeah, I know we get all the fun, show them the Door memes. We love to show our opponents the Door, but yeah, we're still doing our thing. Is this deck better than Amulet Titan? I'm not feeling like matchups curious. I'm still trying to understand. Uh-oh. We're getting Wear Teared. We're actually still winning in 2 turns though, which is crazy. Literally just buys them a turn. Could be playing the Forest here, but I think making a Saga token here is a little bit better. What was I saying? So you have strengths and weaknesses. You're way more in on Amulet than Amulet Titan is, which is your biggest weakness. When your opponents just have a ton of disenchant effects, you are having a harder time, but you're better against creature removal. And I also do think you have more consistent turn 3 wins. Not by a lot, but I think you win on turn 3 a good amount more often than Amulet Titan does, which is something. A strength. Togo, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well today, my friend. Shredder. Ragavan. Iteration. Okay, great. Remember to top Saga for me next turn? I know. It's such an easy misclick to make. Ooh, they found a Mamber. Dude, if they go from 0 mana to going Mamber with Spell Pierce up, I'm gonna lose. If we get Spell Pierce, I'm gonna lose it. And by it, I mean the game. Okay, cool. Lead with Golos. Leading with Golos, I still get blown up by Spell Pierce, and then I get Lotus Field, and then I have no lands in play, so I think it's better to not. Taking black for Hexmage. Okay, so I have hold on, sorry, I have 11 mana. Golos is 7. 11 minus 5, or 11 minus 7 is 4. So I have to play another Lotus here actually before I spin. Why not lead with Golos? Yeah, if you lead with Golos and you get Lotus Field and they spell Pierce the Timeless, you can't pay. You're 1 mana short. And then you just have no mana and play. So I think it's better to not. I think you can't even cast your a 5-drop next turn. Okay, there's a Grazer, there's a Stirrings. Gotta start with the Stirrings. Another Timeless Lotus is a welcome addition to the team. Have a Hexmage Saga yet? I have actually. I did it against Amulet Titan just to buy time. And it did win me the game. 7 plus 6, 13, so I can't afford to spin again before we Timeless Lotus, which is just spinning into more and more mana. Golos is so sick in this deck. Okay, so 9, 12... Yes, so I have exactly enough to spin and then Timeless Lotus. If I miss. I guess we take the Lotus Field. Or maybe... I guess that was kind of bad because I wanted to get that off the second Golos here. Should be fine. I guess we do cast the second Golos before we start spinning. This way we can just keep a bit better concentration of Wooburg mana. We can use the yeah, definitely should have just actually held this in the library, but we can damn it, I thought I was getting the Rot Farm, not the Overgrown Tomb. So that's down a little bit of mana. That's okay. We still have 3 spins. Or maybe we only have 2. 2 spins guaranteed. Really hard to not have 3. Okay, there's a Grazer for a Lotus Field. It's okay, nothing matters. No play in Magic the Gathering is better or worse than any other play. They're just different. Okay, ding. Okay, just win. Very cool to win on turn 4 through Wear, Tear, Kill Saga, Kill Amulet. Obviously, we had a higher end of our draw there. I go with the Tide of our Wall deck in this new meta. What's new about the meta? It's... What decks am I considering for Dallas? I have no idea. I have no idea. Every time I think about Dallas, I think about how I was 1 match win away from a Pro Tour Barcelona qualification, and also not having to LCQ in Dallas, and now I'm LCQing in Dallas. So, thanks for reminding me. I don't know. So I always really liked Gearhulk creativity back in the day. I always feel like I was taking crazy pills too. Oh, kind of funny. So I was taking crazy pills, thinking that Gearhulk creativity was better than Xenagos Worldspine Worm, and I was doing really well with it. I lost in the finals of an RCQ with that deck too, and now Jesse Titty Pills compliments my crazy pills and has been really liking the creativity Gearhulk deck, and I subscribe to her Patreon, and I currently, if Dallas was tomorrow, I would read her sideboard guide, reread her sideboard guide, and I would just play her exact list, and I would win for sure, probably. And then what will likely happen is I'll delude myself into playing something else. But I really like that deck, and I've played it before, and Jesse's great, and it's hard to take advice from Jesse and go wrong. Yeah, or Doomwake will corrupt me with something. Is this somehow turn 2? And yeah, we could win on turn 2 if my opponent doesn't force. But now my opponent has forced. Pitching Dispute. Divide by Zero feels really strong. That card, people are saying that Divide by Zero feels strong. I am skeptical, baby, skeptical. But I did like a tweet that was playing. It's okay. It could be okay. Okay, we can go for it. Untap. Float. Bounce. Copy using the black, and then Grazer the Lotus Field into play. Green. Sack. There are 2 footfalls suspended, or 3 footfalls suspended, but who cares? You could have cascaded into those, doesn't matter. Would not have changed a damn thing. I guess we keep the other Golos in the deck. And I need to stack the triggers to where the Golos resolves last so I can tap the Rot Farm for mana without sacking to Lotus Field. Second Lotus Field has been really good in the deck, by the way, y'all. Could even maybe go as far as playing 3, but 2 feels like a pretty good number at the moment. Y'all. Oh, sorry, I have more white sources because of my ley lines. I should have not had white. That's okay. That's fine. Happy accidents. Can still grab a Gruul Turf here. Nox, 8 months. How was that turn 2? I thought we had 4 mana, but I miscounted. No, we had more because we could just go cast Amulet, play Bounce Land, 4 mana, Grazer plus up to 7, plus Amulet into Storm. Happy reset, also. Deck never has lands in play. Your decks have lands in play. A bit cringe to have lands in play, if you ask me. Alright, well, we hit Timeless Lotus, Timeless Lotus, Storm the Festival, and Invasion of Alara, so this is probably going to be a big dub. Draw 2, blow up your land, no artifact to put into play, but I'll copy my Amulet of Vigor, and then this we make the biggest Arboreal Grazers in this deck. We literally just make the biggest Grazers you ever seen in your entire damn life. Oh, this deck is just a culmination of like all of my years of deck building, to be honest. This deck is in a really big way a combination of a lot of lessons learned over the years, and also, of course, you know, Bob's new Storm tech, some help from chat. You know, it's just has all come together so nicely. How hard is this deck to keep track of in paper? I don't know. I actually went to like buy the cards for the deck in paper. Amulet's like $25. Timeless Lotus, the Cool Stuff Inc. only had the foil one available. And like even with code Spike for 5% off, the deck was a bit more expensive than I thought, so I'm not sure when I'm going to pick it up. But I really want to. And when I do, I'll go to Cool Stuff Inc. and use code Spike for 5% off. So I probably need some number of Force of Vigors where they hit both like the Leyline Bindings and or Blood Moons, like whichever one they're going to have. I don't need too many. Oh, yeah, maybe I could try using code Spike 20 times for 100% off. The life hacks Cool Stuff Inc. doesn't want you to know. Timeless is like 15. Yeah, was Timeless Lotus that expensive before I started playing this deck? I have no idea. I don't want to take, you know, I don't want to assume that it was. I'm going to keep this. But was it? I have no idea. 20 release? Yes, because of EDH, right? Okay, cool. That makes sense. Well, I had the deck built. Yeah, I also bought a bunch of Scales cards too, so I tend not to like to spend too much money on cards a month unless I'm doing like Cool Stuff Inc. with code spike for 5% off. Alright, let's dump Golos. Sorry, Golos. You spike the Moto version from 3 to 10 ticks. Okay, that's something. Walking Blossom deck, you can make enough mana to use it. Channel Fireball. I mean, just Emrakul also wins the game. It's just you don't. Emrakul's 15 mana. Walking Ballista is 40 mana. It's like that's a big difference. This game was maybe a little slow, but I did like that it like could beat a Blood Moon. All right, they're thinking about forcing this. Deal. That's not ideal. Take 8. You can play the Lotus Guardian instead as a budget option. It's true. Yeah, so even if I play Golos as a blocker, next turn I am dead. So I don't know what we're gonna do, y'all. Draw Amulet, play Amulet, copy. Yeah, I guess we could like theoretically win if they don't have another Violent Outburst. Game 3. I think I like the sideboard plan, although it is true like the Blood Moon's on the draw, especially against a deck that can't turn 2 Blood Moon. A bit worse. Maybe I'll just play like 1 Force as like a random out, or maybe it's just like you can cast this without green mana, so much better than Haywire Mite. Maybe don't even need to play the Mite. Although Mite, I played against a Damping Sphere yesterday, actually in testing. I'm like, I really like having the Mite. So yeah, well, never mind. We'll keep the Mite in. Keep the Mite in for sure, actually. In the deck, not in the game here, though. Well, look into 6. Keep 6. No, they can't turn 2 Blood Moon. Fuck, I forgot. This stupid card. You lose so many games to this card. Zaz of the Hut, good username. Thank you for the 3 months. As green tough to get. Green been tough to get. Lotus Field saw that issue. Yeah. Green for Storm the Festival is very easy. Well, they like forcing that, huh? Not getting Blood Mooned. I like that. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Better the Ice, the Forest, than the Saga here. 3, 4. Alright, well. We can cast Golos, we just can't spin. And we have to lose a pretty significant part of our mana base here to even cast the Golos. Waiting is really bad if they find an answer to Amulet. We just have to pass. A lot of good draws, and we're under no pressure at the moment, so you can feel somewhat comfortable passing. Yeah, I know Escape to the Wilds was so damn good. It is hard. It is hard to have it be gone. I think Storm the Festival does make a lot more sense in this build with the invasion, for sure. I also think that that the version Bob played, it may still be better to play Escape over Storm. And, it's less mana. You get to use all 5 cards instead of just 2 of them, and you get to keep Giganta. I mean, still no pressure for my opponent, at least. Let's see what we draw. Saga's a pretty good draw. Thinking about... Yes, let's put the Selesnya Sanctuary in so we can make some Saga tokens. Which I think is going to be what we're going to do at this point in the game. What does Pashing accomplish for us? What does doing anything else accomplish for us? Just a Golos and play with no mana? Waiting lets me draw another Amulet or a Gardens to like combo off all in one go, like Saving the Grazer as a ritual, I guess I'll Stirrings here. If I find like another Saga, I want to play that over the Forest. Although they love to force these Ancient Stirrings, huh? Oh, is this the Shame Forest because of Dispute? No, I think I'm actually happy to trade that with Dispute. Yeah, they could force the Golos. But it's flooded as fuck. Well, they're kind of like interaction flooded, right? They had like Force, Dispute. Oh, I totally missed that they suspended these Footfalls. Bait Biscuit, 17 months. Thank you. Hope you're doing well today. I missed the Grazer attack. Float of mana. Lotus Field got to sack 2 lands, huh? Yo, I have like... I don't know what to do. Yeah, I think I'm okay to just make a construct, get an amulet. Just not cast anything else this turn, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Yeah, the losing Giganta is rough for sure. But again, it's like you know, we kind of left last week. There's 2 versions. There's this version with Invasion of Alara, which Invasion's really powerful, hard to cast though. I think Storm definitely makes sense here. Maybe I'm just like a little less sold on Storm over Escape in the other version. Like Giganta's really important. It's less mana, but like the flashback on Storm is really nice. I do think I was wrong this morning that like you're supposed to just like play Escape and Storm. I think Bob is right on that point. I think you enjoy it. Good morning to you. It was awesome hanging out this weekend. Or I guess, you know, not good morning for me. Good evening for you. I want to get Cascading Cataracts here. If I pick up my Gruul Turf, I get Cascading Cataracts. I'll have 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess I have to pick up the Forest. I have enough to spin Golos next turn. Definitely nice that my constructs are now 4/4s. Golos can also block. Could get another Saga. Could also get Mycosynth Gardens. This Saga seems pretty good. I can just spend next turn making another token, and then my tokens outclass their rhinos, and then the next turn I'll get another amulet, which will let me spin, because I'll have Naya plus blue-black here. Are they about to get another? Yeah, they have it coming down next turn, which isn't like super duper relevant. I'm also at 20. They have 2 cards in their hand. Is Greentron good? I think it's like a little underrated. I think that Greentron is kind of going through a metamorphosis at the moment. It's definitely a deck kind of like Burn that players had not spent a lot of time innovating on, but like especially with it getting Cityscape Leveler recently, there's a lot of like different ways to build the archetype, and figuring out the best 75 is kind of tough. Fair enough. Fuck. I do have 1 Force. I have a green source for my 2 Boseijus. Timeless Amulet, obviously, is going to be castable soon. They also have no green mana, which is a point of note here. I think that they were like definitely supposed to attack, but maybe not. And Mingu with the Twitch Prime. Thank you, Mingu. Yeah, so we you know, Untapped Lotus is nice. So we have 4 Timeless Amulets, 2 Boseijus, 1 Force of Vigor. So we have like 7 pretty good outs here. I think I just want to take 4. If we draw now, if we draw like any amulet, our constructs are 5/5, which is really big. So I think we could just wait a turn there. All right, so we play the Forest now, and then next turn we probably have to go like block, block, block. Got 2 cards in their hand also. This is game 3. It'd also be bad to like have not traded last turn, because now like, you know, Petty Theft is a bit, you know, better against us. It's okay. I'm just gonna, you know, make the block, and they're gonna fire the Golos. How does that change things? I guess this means that Timeless Lotus is not as good of a draw anymore. Yeah, because I can't cast the Storm anymore. I need it to spin. My opponent's used a Force of Negation already. Force on the Storm of the Festival would be... What's the opposite of good? Is that bad? I think that'd be bad. Anybody go to Philosophy 101? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10 to flashback. Oh, but Azusa is plus 4 mana, so you can flashback. I guess it could even be plus 1 more if we wanted to pick up the Lotus Field, but let's just go ahead and have no mana floating. Dang. Recasting Emrakul next turn. I think I played too much, I guess, when I did start this turn. The top deck Boseiju. Alright, so we have 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, what? This is just 15? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15? Oh, wow. Wait, how much does this cost? 15? What's my opponent's life total? 15? It's all coming together, baby. Why was his nuisance not additive? So if you Legend Rule Azusa, you only have one Azusa in play. It says you can only play 2 extra lands this turn. You have already played 2 extra lands that turn, and you don't get the 2 extra mana. Not that the 2 extra, not that that would even let you do anything here. Just in general, but that's why. Silly game. Always nice to look at your opponent's graveyard and see 3 Crashing Footfalls, a Force of Vigor, a Blood Moon, Force of Negation, and see the phrase Aspiring Spike wins. But they're not conceding, so maybe we won't see that. Although, this is going to be a win for sure. So we'll go cast the Stirrings, hand the Grazer. They did fix the bug finally, which is like really nice. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and like win the game, I guess. Like I don't know if they have like endurance, but just like do this first and then try to win more. They sack battles Emrakul. No, I control the battle. Yeah, Emrakul has protection from colored spells, and ice is a colored spell. It was a cool game, fun game. Glad our luck is kind of bouncing in the right direction after a rough start. I had a few minutes of the Emrakul interplay. So we Boseiju the Blood Moon, and then we stormed the festival twice. And we bricked on any payoffs, but we just ended up putting 15 mana to cast Emrakul the next turn. Biz, 17 months, thank you. But we drew one of our outs. It's awesome. Boseiju was the good guy all along. We put back second Selesnya Sanctuary or the Hexmage. Need a second bounce line all that often, especially on the draw here. Yeah, so Emrakul could not be Petty Theft, but it can be chump blocked by Borrower. No, please, I'm too weak. Gigantha. Okay, so this is Breach again, right? How does Lotus Amulet compare to other big mana decks? So it's like much faster than to win the game than so like I think that Timeless Amulet has a faster win the game turn average than Amuletite, not by a lot, but by a little, which is relevant, of course. And then it is also like more resilient to creature removal than Amulet Titan. And then the downsides are you're way more vulnerable to like disenchant effects and blood moons. Prowess. It could be prowess. Like I tend to think that like Spirebluff, like I personally think Spirebluff Canal is like not that good in prowess because I just like to play as many fetch lands as possible. But I know some people play it. Some people play these cards, of course, in prowess. Did not find a amulet. Maybe a little too slow here, but also maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. This is Blue-Red Merc. It's not Blue-Red Murktide because they have Gigantha revealed. It's very pretty good against my Invasion of Alara. I can maybe Hexmage, kill the Teferi before I cast it. It is kind of funny that like the combo card like the best card against Teferi is the best card against Invasion of Alara is Teferi, but all your Invasion of Alara decks play Hexmage to kill Teferi. Okay, so I'm very likely just making a Saga token this turn, right? So we go make a Saga token this turn, floated mana, copy the Amulet. Hopefully win the game. They can't have Counterspell in their deck either. GG suffocated. I don't feel like you played particularly slow at all or anything. You played well. GG's to you. Oh, the old end of turn expressive iteration. Binding Lightning Bolts, which I am dead to if they connive a spell away. Version 4. I think that I was my theory that it was fine to play Escape to Wilds and Storm the Festivals at the same time was wrong. So we have moved on to this version, which is playing Invasion of Alara with Storm, which these two cards play like this. We proved last week this card's really good in the deck. It's harder to cast than other options and makes you play Hexmage, but it's very, very powerful. And now it additionally plays really well Storm the Festival. I think we're just running it back. So we did last time against Breach, right? Just ran it back. Yeah, I mistyped, y'all. I woke up so groggy this morning. I woke up at like 20 minutes before the stream start time. But yeah, I did mean I was thinking that the Karn cut was wrong. Maybe I'm even just deleting the tweet. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, but I meant that I thought that Escape was the wrong cut. You should get Karn instead. But I think I'm wrong. I think that you do need the extra permanent hits for Storm. So maybe, but also like Bob said he wasn't sure that Bob said he does feel like Storm is a little bit better than Escape the Wilds, but losing Gigantha is a big cost, which I think is a pretty apt analysis as well. I'm on 5 cards, and I have an Amulet and a Bounce Land. We can go to 4. Not my best 4, but not my worst 4 ever. Yeah, the 3 green pips from Storm is like totally fine. It doesn't not a problem, I think. Okay. One of the worst draws. That's okay, we may die. I built the deck on paper, want to understand all Friday. Should I cut Escape the Wilds, use Storm instead in the Karn version? I think it's close. I think it's close. So Bob is again under the impression that Storm is just better than Escape. I don't exactly agree necessarily. Like when you're casting Escape, you have Ancient Stirrings and you have Explore and you have other escapes as hits off your Escape. With Storm, you have to hit permanence, which is like a pretty significant downside, right? So, this was I think it's still being, and then also you lose Gigantha. You lose Gigantha compared to the other version. So, I do think that the tech is cool. The tech is good. Obviously, the upside is that if you brick on the Storm, you can just make 10 mana pretty often and flash it back to find Karn or Golos. So that that aspect is really nice. But I don't think that it's perfectly clear which one is better. Because again, one big thing is Escape can hit other escapes, Storm can't hit other storms, Escape can hit Stirrings, Escape can hit Explore, and Storm can't. And also with Escape, you get all 5 cards instead of just 2. So it's an interesting little split, and something that could be right is 2 Storm the Festival, 4 Escape the Wilds, and just don't play Explorers anymore. Playing Metamorph over Azusa with Access. It copies Lotus, Amulet, and Golos. Is a live hit fought battle in Storm. Metamorph over Azusa. So yeah, it goes three main, one side if you're playing the Karns. Just really wish you could flip this without playing Hexmage, but then of course the card would just be so broken. I do think what Bob proved and talking about Metamorph, there's I think a lot more work to be done on this deck than I really had felt since last time. So I'm excited. I'm excited for these suggestions. I'm excited to continue to work on it. These Field of Ruins are going to be great against me. No, you can't play Underworld Breach in this deck. There's no way. You don't get enough cards in your yard. A popped relic. Yeah, Bob 49. Only 2 basic forests in this version. Can go. Assuming my opponent doesn't have another field. Oh, was I not supposed to do that? No, I was. We can go Amulet, Timeless Lotus, Invasion. What we need is Yarok so we get more untapped triggers. Yeah, so Bob was also playing an Elishnorn in the sideboard, which is kind of interesting. You can, you know, multiply on the triggers there. No Hexmage off Urborg. What I don't want to expose the Hexmage to a removal spell in this matchup, right? So, like, I want to be able to play it and flip the invasion immediately. I don't want to just die to their fatal pushes. I want to keep those fatal pushes as dead cards. No. I was talking to Andrea, and he said the Shadow of Doubt's so bad in in the coffer stack. I wish if only people would listen to Andrea. If only people would listen, I would have won this game. The Spin's Profane Tutor. I don't have that many basics, and I only have one more basic in the deck too, so it's gonna be a tough one to win. Maybe we could draw like Azusa. Azusa would be really good here. Ironically, Hexmage could remove the Sagas from Saga. Yeah, it's just so likely to have to die though to their open mana. You know, doesn't really feel like something I should be deploying. Although I guess maybe this turn it is actually good to deploy since it could potentially kill the card. I think it's just getting fatal pushed. I know that like it can just feel like if you're not doing anything with your mana, you're just like you just feel like, you know, I think playing Magic really trains you to feel like you have to do something with your mana every turn, early turns. But combo decks like this are just the big exception to that rule, I guess. Like it's just okay to sit and wait and, you know, try to win the game all in one turn sometimes. I do think that Card the Great Critter is like a good enough reason for me to play the Hexmage this turn. Although maybe that's even wrong because I could just wait and play and kill it, right? But then they can like coding target a land of mine. So I don't know. Yeah, limited player swing spike. Well, no, I mean limited. Use that mana, huh? Or maybe misunderstand the joke. Okay, let's bring in these ley lines. I think I like cutting the Azusas and turning off the creature removal. We can try a Hexmage also. Well, we could play Needle and name Karn. Which, oh yeah, their deck just can't beat Needle on Karn, right? Maybe they have a Blast Zone. I know that like several of the versions have like straight up like no way to beat like Necromantia on Karn. Wait, I searched Trellon. They have explosives. They just have explosive the main, right? I think we'll play the Needle. I think it does enough utility at least. Leyline doesn't stop SOD. Shadow of Doubt, that's true. But it does stop sucking on these nuts. Also SOD. Sucking on these. Yeah, the Blast Zone will get you for sure. That's okay though. This hand's great. Doesn't have a Leyline though, but maybe we can not let them know that we have the Leyline. If they take the Storm, I think we can even flashback Storm on turn 3. We'll have 11 mana without even casting the Stirrings. Yeah, so 1 mana short of casting Golos. Yeah, they're a mono black deck, so they're gonna have difficulty removing my Amulet at instant speed or anything. If they just hold up Shadow of Doubt, it's a little bit awkward because we don't get our 3rd Amulet. We don't get to search off Golos. But we will make them Shadow of Doubt, I guess. Okay, so I have 5 +4 mana. So I guess if I hit a Timeless Lotus off the Stirrings, then I can... cast Storm the Festival from the yard. And again, I don't want to cast the Golos because the Shadowed out, so just pass. Next turn we can go 4/7. This can be +1 with the Lotus Field, so I guess yeah, we still be a little short of What a curve. Thoughtseize Shadowed out explosives on one. That's kind of funny though. Our hand is kind of perfect for rebuilding though. We're just gonna play Saga, Garden. They still have 6 cards in their hand. Sideways 9 months. Would a 2-mana kill spell with upside make black good again? Yeah, I think 2 mana, black 1, kill target creature, draw 3 cards would probably make black good again. 2 mana, kill target creature, gain control of target land would be pretty good. Kill target creature when target player loses the game, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, there are a few things you could do. You know, sad I can't even Boseiju this. Yeah, it's true. Doesn't get around Veil Summer, so it's still bad, actually. Am I being sarcastic? Well, what I'm being sarcastic about is... Yeah, I am being sarcastic, yes. My sarcasm is that, like what is the upside? Like, you really can't print like a 2-mana kill spell with, like, a significant upside. This is not... I don't think this is something that works, so... Like 2-mana kill a creature, scry 1... Nah, you know, I don't know what we're talking about. I know I'm dead, though. I can needle explosives. 2022, bummer. This was like the perfect Thoughtseize Shadowed out explosives, though. Crazy. Is a Tallied Amulet a good card? I don't know, probably not. Maybe. Tallied's pretty good. One of the biggest issues in Modern is that red 1-drops are not only much better than any other color's 1-drops, but they have like 6 really good red 1-drops that are better than any other 1-drop. We've been on the draw against a turn 1 Ragavan a lot today. That's okay though. It's like you have Ragavan, you have Dragon Regis Channeler, and then like those are the best 2. But you also have like Asmo, Monastery Swift Spear, Goblin Guide. You know, I saw Scar Mage, I guess, but it's like, all of those cards are better than like the next best 1-drop in any color besides Esper Sentinel. I guess yeah, Esper Sentinel is in that tier. Sentinel's in that tier for sure. It's like the only other like 1-drop in any other color I think that is in that tier. Yeah, it's like that is true. Yeah, you at least have that one. Stupid 3-mana Saga. I mean, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is like a good Modern card. It is not nearly as like, it is not this like oppressive force that it is in Standard Pioneer, right? It is just like, it's fine. It's good. It's like worse than Seasoned Pyromancer in some decks and better than Seasoned Pyromancer in others. Ding ding ding. Unironically, Grazer's a power Swift Spear. Yeah, that's true. I think, you know, Swift Spear, Goblin Guide, Soulscar Mage, these are Asmo probably. Although Asmo's like, do you even count it as a 1-drop? You probably should. I agree that these are like a tier below. It's like tier 1 is like Ragavan, DRC, Sentinel, and then you have like Swift Spear, Grazer, Goblin Guide. And then like below that you have Soulscar Mage, but Soulscar Mage is like still better than any blue or black 1-drop. So yeah, like it's like then you have like Birds of Paradise, Global Hierarch, and oh yeah, Epicer is also like actually very good too. As was like Shadow 1 mana, you don't play turn 1. Yeah, you can't play it on turn 1 with like Vile or Street Wraith though, which is like why I feel like it's a little different. Delver, yeah. Unfortunately, Delver is so much worse than all these other cards. It's like, and like one thing too is like when you're considering Delver, you would really only consider playing it in a deck like Murktide, and if you're gonna play a deck like Murktide, yeah, I should probably just play Murktide. Giver Rooms, yeah, Giver Rooms is probably like in that third tier. It's good though. It's I don't mind Giver in some decks. The Shadow counts one drop. Yeah, I don't really count Death Shadow as a one drop. I know it is a creature that costs 1 mana, but it's really just like a turn 3 play, you know. Chris, thank you for the 6 months. Love you, buddy. I'll be at the draft next week. Yeah. I'd say Giver is like in that third tier. One drop video tier list would be good. Yeah, I want to do more stuff like that for YouTube. I've just been like, you know, busy, but also like have been having medical problems. But I've scheduled so many doctor's appointments for this week and next week. Nothing huge, but just has been keeping me away a little bit. My opponent says, "What the hell?" Classic. They're definitely just going to counter my Golos, though. I'm going to be screwed. Maybe they have nothing. I already used one counterspell, but like if they're using a counterspell on the Stirrings, they have another one. What tier is Grazer? Like tier 2, I think. Could maybe put it in tier 1, I guess. Just respond with a WTH back. Storm would be nicer than Invasion. That's true. But we do have 4 Storm and 4 Invasion in this build, so it's like I don't like if this it would be like Escape is also castable because we have the Rot Farm, but maybe Escape is, you know, realistically a lot easier to cast here. And also like we wouldn't have this Hexmage in the hand, so yeah. Oh, sorry, I can take the counter off the Shredder. I think Azusa would have let me cast Emrakul. Alright, well I count 6 damage over there. It'd be better to play the Growth Chamber out. Literally alive because of the Hexmage, by the way. Maybe trolling a little too much. Okay, so we're gonna need some forces for Blood Moons. What the hell? Yeah, the Azusas I think to be not great against the red removal. Hexmage. I'm trimming Hexmages a lot. Just one. If you're expecting Blood Moon, why not play the 4th Force? What is it for if not Blood Moons? Well, you play 4 Forces against Hammer and Titan. Against Blood Moon decks, like you want to draw the first Force. Like, so like one thing is I'm on the play. There's a really good chance I could have the potential to kill turn 3 before Blood Moon ever comes down. That's like way less likely if I have a bunch of Force of Vigors. But yeah, it's I think against the Force of Vigor decks you don't want the full 4. You want 2 or 3. And against Titan and Hammer and those kind of decks you want the full 4. What matchup did Dismember for? I was kind of wondering if they should be Veils. They could be Veils. Like I played against. I think they're like specifically for Magus of the Moon decks, which isn't like very common, right? But I would like to have some answers to Magus of the Moon specifically, and these kind of like hate bear creatures. I feel that I want removal for them. I've played against Taxes. You can play against Meddling Mages. You can play against these kind of things. I think they're not going to come in very often, but that's what they're there for, I guess. Did you initially look at Timeless Lotus and think this could be new hotness in Modern? No, of course not. Like I found it like after the Garden's Amulet tech was found by other players, and I don't know, like it's a powerful card, but I was looking for maybe any way to use it, and I do think this list did come together pretty well, but it was definitely not something I saw super immediately. It could have been maybe correct to not do this because now we're gonna have a hard time casting any spells. But I think it's fine. Maybe it's not fine. I mean, I get to cast the Hexmage next turn, which is part of this line. But maybe with me, like, being low on Explorers, I have to draw, like, a Grazer. Does my opponent cast Grazer? I don't know. Maybe this is wrong to copy, and I'm supposed to be, like, developing my mana a little bit more. Hexmage for EE. I couldn't cast it that turn. I can play it this turn. Just draw an Arboreal Grazer. Not a bad draw. Need to draw land, need to draw Grazer. I missed the Explorers. Yeah, me too. I just feel like the deck is so close, and I like Bob's build. Maybe Bob's build is the best. Epsilon, think with the $15. You post a link in chat. I can take a look at your deck tech. I'm not convinced that Storm is better than Escape to the Wilds. I did like the Phyrexian Metamorph idea. Okay, maybe just try Bob's build too. Link to Bob's build. It's the challenge top 4. Can search Bob49 on Twitter. We pulled it up at the beginning of the stream. Okay, I started with a Eula's Influence Tribute to the World Tree, Nykthos. Boy, did I end up not really liking the look of it, but hold on, let me see what we draw here. More nothing. Yeah, I think I made a mistake with my sequencing here. I think I just needed to like spend a couple turns getting a bounce line into play. So this is pretty similar to what I had. I will say I did a little bit of playtesting and it was not, oh boy, was it not good. But I have some ideas. So one, I feel like if you're playing all these triple green enchantments, being more in on Nykthos makes sense. I also think Grazer is kind of interesting if you're loaming. If you're loaming in a deck that's trying to play 3 drops, like Grazer is a card that makes a lot of sense. Splashing for Wrenn is fine. I was kind of choosing not to splash for Wrenn. I don't love the Sterling Groves. And yeah, I don't really feel like Sterling Grove is worth splashing for. But here's what I was doing. I was playing Arboreal Grazer, Sprawl, Loam, and then you can like Storm the Festival into Eula's Influence and Tribute to the World Tree. Kiora both untaps your Nykthos, and then when you have double Tribute a Eula's Influence, you like discard a land, draw 2 cards, and like you draw through your deck in theory, which is kind of cool. And then also like Ginny Faye is in here to give your bears haste. And so you can win the game all in one spot. It's also a triple green pip for Nykthos. So I feel like I think like having like one way to win the game immediately is kind of important. And then Garruk Wildspeaker both makes 3/3s to draw cards, untaps your Nykthos, blah 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 blah. I played like 2 matches and the deck looked and felt so awful. So that's kind of those are my ideas for the archetype. That's how I would build it, and I would not recommend it. Play the Bob build tomorrow? Okay. I think the Bob build sounds like it would be pretty good. I don't think bears will trigger Cure if they go from Tribute. They should. I think they enter with the counters, but that was my thinking. Sometimes my thinking is wrong. Link to Bob build. So you usually, maybe someone in chat can help you out, but I request from chat that are like, Spike, can you Google something for me? I just don't entertain, but I posted, it's Bob49 on Twitter, in the challenge top 8 lists. You can find it with just a little bit of like Googling or Twitter searching. But maybe someone else in chat can also link it. Okay, 2023, feel bad. It's okay. Although Hardened Scales with Tribute to the World Tree could be kind of interesting. Oh no, this is a trigger. It is. Yeah, sorry, it is a trigger. I thought it. I